28th and Jefferson. I hope you guys have been having a great week. I know our set looks a little bit different. We do have a guest with us today, filling in for Josh. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Absolutely. My name is Whitney Davis. At Just Witty online. I am here to support and have a good old time.
Yes, she filled in for Josh at the last minute, so we really thank you and appreciate you.
Happy to be here.
What's up, Pat?
What is going on, man? I feel like I ain't been here in a long time.
Yeah, it has been a minute. We did not record last week, our podcast, but we'll get into that a little bit later.
Yeah.
But first, I just kind of want to highlight some things that's going on in Nashville, if you guys didn't know. Coming up this weekend is the Vanguard Art Show.
Yes.
At Track 1 at 7 p.m., right?
Yes, 7 to 12.
7 to 12.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie Wilson will be here, and Babyface, and I believe Joe on Sunday.
Okay.
7:30, little Valentine's concert. I'm quite sure everybody had their tickets already.
Uncle Charlie. Uncle Charlie in the building.
And then also coming up, I'm fast forwarding to March. The B2K Millennium Concert. If you have not gotten your tickets, I got my ticket and
your velour outfit. Make sure you have your velour outfit.
I haven't gotten my outfit just yet.
Are you rocking a baby fat
I
outfit?
don't know just yet. I think I might pull out like some K-Swiss.
You could do the jersey dress.
I've been looking.
Throwback.
I've been looking for jersey dresses and I can't find them.
Wait a minute, I got one though. How many of y'all gonna pull them Melissa's out though?
Melissa's?
I don't. Do they still make those?
I'm pretty sure they don't. However, Zach, do you remember
the plastic
Melissa's?
shoes that had the little M
The
on
clear
it?
shoes
The
with the
clear
M
ones
on
where
them?
like your feet would be real sweaty in them. Yes. Yep.
Hey, if Baby Fat was smart, they would like have capitalized on this opportunity and just like re-released everything.
I probably need to go. What's that store? City Trends, City Gear.
Yes.
Do they still have Baby Fat?
I don't know about that.
I don't know. I haven't been in City Trends since I was like 16, 15 to 16. So.
I might. That's probably where I need to go to find a nice outfit.
It's a safe place.
Yeah, I could go with that. I could go with that. That might be a good starting.
But if you guys have any ideas of where we can find some throwback outfits, let us know.
In the comments.
Yes. Okay, moving on to a little bit more serious news that kind of threw me off a little bit. So I read this article on News Channel 5 today that the Waffle House shooter pled not guilty.
Oh, wow.
Guilty.
No comment.
Which I was a little confused about that. Like,
as an innocent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but he didn't actually do it. His lawyer showed up in place for him to say that this is what he stated, a plea of not guilty. So
at what point do we like go back? And I know people like, I don't know, like at what point do we go back and look at like legal laws, the judicial system, the Constitution, and just like anything, and just be like, look, bro, we gotta change some stuff. Like 1776 is a long time ago, bro. And a lot of things have since changed.
Yeah.
Like at what point do we literally go back, man? And people are so crazy that it's almost brilliant. Like he's going to find a way to say like, oh, it wasn't me. It was one of my 23 other personalities that was doing it. I'm just thinking out loud. I don't have those issues, by the way. But you know, it's just one of those things where it's like people literally will come up with anything crazy. And will lightweight have like a lane to travel down at least for a little bit.
I don't think that. This is my thought. Okay. So if you did the crime, we know you did it. You shouldn't have the option to plead guilty or not guilty because you're guilty. You did it.
Right. You done it, bro.
So why can't we move forward with
like what?
Prosecuting and all of that? Like why does it have to go through that whole process?
What are we entertaining?
Already know.
Yeah, like what are we entertaining? I mean, I'm definitely not one for violence, bro. But like, if bro wants to have like an opportunity to prove himself as innocent, hey, bro, shoot me the fade, bro. 5 minutes, all I need, chief, bro. Like, and I kind of feel like I don't know, like
what ground do we have to stand on? Like, I don't know. Is it not witnesses that? that will, you know, specify the details that.
I guess it really depends on the angle in which he is. Well, number one, I don't think he has any ground to stand on.
No.
However, it's
Pebbles,
gonna be.
maybe.
However, it's going to be very interesting to see the angle that he comes from. And the fact that at this point, of course, we all know he's going to go the plead insanity route.
Right.
We all know
Mental
what's...
illness,
Yeah, we all know.
not right in the head.
Yeah, and which that may very well be true.
But
However,
we can't keep using that same excuse is
Right.
what I'm going to call it, because it's used so often in situations like that where there's a mass shooting and oh, well, they suffer from this mental illness and that mental illness, but that shouldn't be an excuse. Like, they really shouldn't.
I mean, I'm definitely not trying to throw the race card in and nothing like that. However, last year when Buddy,
Throw it out there.
when old boy went and shot up the church out in Antioch, he ain't had no opportunity to come with no mess like it. I mean, same year, you know what I'm saying? Like, wasn't nobody like giving him an opportunity.
No.
To even think about it.
I'm not familiar.
All right, so there was a gentleman who he was actually a member of the church, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Or either he frequented the church a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he one morning he went to his regular Sunday morning service, and did he kill the lady out in the parking lot?
Yep.
Yeah, he killed
He
one.
shot somebody out in the
shot.
parking lot. It was an elderly lady, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then he shot or pistol whipped one of the ushers. He was a younger guy. He was in his 20s, but he was licensed to carry.
And he was.
The assailant was black, but the usher was a white guy, I believe.
Okay.
So he got pistol whipped or shot. I can't remember which one. And so I guess as the guy proceeded into the church, the usher came back in and like wrestled him down, you know, and like, you know, apprehended him until police could get there. But it's like, I mean, what's the difference other than the location? One was at Waffle House and one was at a church. Like, what's the difference? You specifically targeted somebody, a very common public place where you knew a relatively decent sized number of people was going to be there, and you knew what you was doing.
Yeah.
Guns hurt. You pulled the trigger. You did it, my God. Like,
That's it. End of story.
yeah. I mean, until we can figure out ways how to, I don't know, incriminate and throw mentally unstable in jail, bro. Your spirit, all of y'all need to go sit down for a little bit.
Because there's a lot of mentally unstable people out there that's not committing mass murders. That's not toting guns and shooting people.
Right.
It's a lot of people.
Yeah.
So to use that as an excuse as to why somebody did what they did, I don't think should hold up in court.
And to me, it's a mockery to the victims and those people who actually had to see it. You know, like, could you imagine being one of the survivors and then you walking out and the girl who just ordered an all-star special is like laid out on the floor, right next to where you were sitting at. Like, now, basically, almost a year later, we're bringing all of this right back up.
And that's another thing too. Like, I know this stuff kind of takes time. You gotta collect evidence. You gotta do this. But like, when you wait so long to then like have the trial and the case, like it just really opens up wounds all over again.
Yeah, popping them stitches and reopening. You know what I'm saying?
And it's just, I don't like that.
It's a rough one. Yeah, so
I don't like it.
Prayers and positive energy to all of those affected victims, survivors, James Shaw, Brennan. Like I said, positive vibes and prayers to all of you all, man. I hope y'all get through it.
So, on other news, last week it was storming real bad, like real bad, and it was flooding.
Amazon.
And Pat had a little accident.
I did.
But guess what, y'all?
I did.
He's still here.
I am still here.
Yeah. Want to tell people what happened?
Testimony.
Yeah, definitely a testimony at that. I was crossing over Woodland Street. We'll just go long story short. I was crossing over Woodland Street, and like she kind of said, of course, y'all know last Wednesday it was basically a monsoon outside. We had flash flood.
Legit.
Crossed over Woodland Street and I got smacked by a 2004 Yukon. that was speeding, T-boned me right beside my between my driver's front door and my driver's back door.
Wow.
He flipped me over twice, and I landed across the street on the sidewalk up against Limelight. So, and yeah, so I walked out of there unscathed, no
How did you
scratches,
get out?
no through the windshield.
Through the windshield, did you like punch it out, kick it out, or was it already out?
It was already out. It was already out. You
Did
know,
you have your seatbelt on?
I did have my seatbelt on, man. It wasn't nothing but the grace of God, truthfully. Devil tried to roll me in the VIP in Limelight, and they wasn't even open, bro.
That's funny. Yeah.
Like, really? Wow. That's what we're doing on a Wednesday, bro?
Limelight.
But you know, I don't know. Like, I have a very adventurous life. So I'm doing all right. I need to be checking on that Yukon that I beat up, because that Yukon is done.
They said you're about to get that Tesla next.
I'm not about to get a Tesla next. Y'all do not listen to Doug. Do not listen to Doug.
Okay.
Even if I was getting a Tesla, bro, it's only a 7-seater, so everybody can't get in there.
You know what? I've been hearing a lot about these Teslas, and I am not aware what this car is. It's in all the songs and.
So if I have a few seconds.
No, you got time.
Okay, the Tesla is it is kind of like the leading or the most popular electric car right now. Hybrid.
Okay.
Very upscale, very modern. They have 3 models out right now. And it really is a cool car. I've been in 2 of them. I haven't been in the small one, but they have a sedan, and it holds 7 people. Like, that's crazy. Like a regular 4-door. You have the 2 front seats. You have the 3 seats in the back, but like it's a hatchback. And so in the trunk, the hatchback part, there are 2 rear-facing seats. So you can have
like
2
a station
seats.
wagon.
Basically, but that's what a lot of these cars are now. It's just like really cool looking station wagons. My favorite car, the Audi A7, basically is a station wagon. Porsche Panamera, basically a station wagon. Mercedes-Benz CLS
It's a
550.
fancy station wagon.
I mean, yeah, they just
I used to like to
fancy.
sit in the little back seats in the station wagon.
Yeah, I mean that's what they all are now. You know.
And be making faces at people.
So that's what the Tesla is. Do you follow Lil Duval on Instagram?
I don't.
You should. You should. But he has one, and periodically he'll post a video of him like rolling a joint with no hands while he's driving his Tesla. They drive for you. And
They do.
They park themselves and brake and this, that.
So they got navigation.
They got autopilot.
We trust in cars with our lives.
Basically.
Yeah, you are now in the iRobot days now.
Wow.
Basically, so.
So if you get in an accident, who you sue?
That would be when you call our attorney Marcus Shute, and you let our attorney Marcus Shute handle that, man. But
it was on autopilot. It definitely wasn't me.
Yeah. So I don't know, but have I sold you a Tesla yet? Possibly.
Kind of, sort of.
Cool. Tesla, y'all can holler me
I'm
later
aware
on.
now. I'm aware.
Y'all can holler me later on.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what we got with the Tesla.
What else is going on in the world?
There are several things going on in the world. Y'all know me. I like to take a poll from the room.
Okay, what you got?
So which one do y'all want to talk about? Y'all want to talk about 21 Savage or y'all want to talk about Gucci?
21.
What's happening with Gucci? Like the clothing line?
The clothing line Gucci.
Oh.
Not Brother Guwap. Not the deacon of the Lord and Trap. Not Brother Guwap.
Lord have mercy.
So we
Gucci, I was talking about this the other day.
Okay.
I don't know.
Dub, it sounds like we're gonna go with it.
But I think we can kind of hit on 21 Savage too.
We
but
can't hit on
Gucci, the nerve,
So I don't know.
the audacity, like.
Gucci, the.
So I'm gonna pull it up for you.
Yeah, we'll let you look at it first.
I'm gonna pull it up and then we can.
At some point, we gotta start holding clothing brands accountable. But at the same time, what does holding a clothing brand accountable
Looks
mean?
like, yeah.
What does that look like? Because, T.I., did you get a chance to see it?
No, she.
Okay.
I'm pulling it up right now.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't know. A lot of these European clothing lines are doing a lot of things that are questionable and just outright disrespectful.
Okay. This is
Yeah, that's it. So how do you feel about that sweater?
wow.
So it's black up to the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
It's black past the nose, and it got the big lips.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So how do I feel?
Well, did you see what Prada released?
Them shoes.
No, I didn't
No,
know
that's
about
Katy Perry.
This was released for Black History Month?
No,
this was released last week. It's probably part of their spring collection.
yeah, like on their website. Like, yeah.
Wow, that's...
Prada had little like dolls, keychain looking things like in their storefront window.
Yep.
Katy Perry just got some backlash for these shoes.
Yeah, that's what Prada was doing.
You better stop.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Your mouth.
yeah. So I mean, I don't know. And then Montclair, I don't know how many people are very familiar with Montclair, but they had something very similar. Montclair is really known for like their puffer jackets and stuff like that.
Oh, I didn't know about that one.
Yeah, you can Google Montclair.
Keychains.
I mean, I don't know, man. A lot of these European brands.
Oh, these are
Bold.
Katy Perry shoes.
Is this just a thing?
My thing is with the temperature and with the climate of the society, you got to tread very lightly.
Wow.
Yeah.
You have to tread very lightly. What you got for me, Doug? I mean, Zach.
The fact that it's Black History Month, you think that they maybe it's a thing for
That's
them?
what I said.
Are they
Black
trolling?
History.
You got to release a statement, though, if that's the angle that you're going to go, man, because we all know that when we see something, the first thing that, unless it's overly positive, the first thing people going to run to is the negativity. Like, you just can't throw something out there and then leave it up.
Leave it
for
out
chance
open and
to
then go back and
yeah.
apologize. Like, release a statement
Yeah.
and apologize. But my
can't do
thing
that.
is, like, y'all got Google, y'all got the internet, y'all know this is offensive, and in clothing like companies, there's so many people that this has to go through.
Yeah.
You got the designer, you got the manufacturer, you have the marketing team, you have like amongst other people. Why was there nobody like, hey, excuse me, no,
This might not be a good idea.
Excuse me, sorry. Let's not even make it to the manufacturing stages of this, because looking at this prototype, this is not gonna fly. Like, sorry. Is there no people with I wouldn't even say people of color, because you really don't need people of color to make these decisions.
Wrong
It's
is
pretty
wrong.
obvious.
Wrong ain't got no color. Wrong ain't got no race.
So
were they all released in this month?
it was released, but they pulled it. Yeah, they took it off the website.
And some people pulled it. I want to say I read something that that particular sweater had made it on a couple of racks though. I'm not too for sure, but they said
Gucci one?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know where they got that design from.
I don't know, man. At this point, it's just kind of.
That's interesting.
Yeah, the blackface thing is like y'all just didn't have nothing else better to do.
Nothing else.
Like nothing else. I've got it. Let's do a black sweater with
It doesn't quite
super
look
swole.
like it, but
Close enough.
it's close enough. Maybe we can kind of
Bro, Ray Charles
test
can
the
see
waters
what's
a
going on
little
with that,
bit.
bro. Ray Charles can see what's going on with that one, bro. Come on now.
But who wear turtlenecks on their face?
So that's
That's really...
I would.
that's kind of like a hype beast thing. That's what the youth
That's
wear.
too far.
I mean, I don't know.
Who wear earrings?
My thing. All right, let me propose this though. Do y'all think that they would have gotten away with it had they changed the colors around?
No, because they had a white one.
There was a white
There
one
was a
with
white
red
one.
I
lips.
just don't like
There was
the
a white
style,
one. And
honestly.
Katy Perry has a white shoe with like red lips, but even still, it's too close. Like
Big red
So
lips.
here's what the
If you
issue
don't have a
is.
black one, then there's a clown comparison, which is not us.
And that's
You don't
fine.
have a
I mean,
I'm saying, to answer your question, like if you don't have a black one, personally, if I was doing it, I wouldn't even have black shirts. We'll just forget this. Like, we don't have no problems.
like y'all didn't learn y'all lesson with H&M, bro, the biggest monkey in the jungle, bro. Like y'all forgot that, bro. Like that quick.
I know I was talking to my mom about that. She said that's why she doesn't like sock monkeys. Because like the sock monkeys she said it resembles too much like
Think about
blackface.
that one.
And she said that she's just she can't get down with the sock monkeys.
I ain't think about that.
And then when she said it, I was like, you may have a
Chris
point
Brown
there.
meme.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
I mean, it's time to stop like
that's
pushing those
something.
limits. It really is.
I mean, at
It's-
some
it's-
point, I don't know. At some point, we have to literally draw the line in the sand and stop daring them to like. I bet you won't step across this one
Yeah.
because they do it every year.
Habitual
bro.
steppers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They are
Right.
steppers.
Well, just stop mentioning them. You know,
Stop. Hey, I'm with that.
Bragging about Gucci.
I'm with that.
Or stop
Speaking of
wearing
which,
it.
Here's
Floyd. Did you see what Floyd?
not only Floyd, Kodak.
It was Kodak.
I'm over
Oh,
it.
black.
Yeah, the project, baby, bro.
My mind went straight to like cameras,
Yeah.
the Kodak man.
No, we talking about the national treasure Kodak. Project Baby.
That cocaine
That's a
gets
rapper.
one.
Project
Oh,
Baby.
man,
So
yes.
so
Yes.
Floyd, of course, we all know that Floyd is another national treasure. He's one of a kind. We'll just keep it at that. But Floyd Mayweather made a statement stating that he's not a quote unquote follower, which no argument here. No argument here. I don't think Floyd's a follower. But Floyd was like, well, since everybody's boycotting Gucci, I'm finna go in the Gucci store right now, and he probably bought the whole damn store. More than likely.
You think that was because of the T.I. comment?
I thought about that today because we got to remember T.I. and Tiny when they was going through their little rift. You know, Tiny and Floyd was dating and
Yeah.
whatnot.
Oh, I remember
Yeah.
hearing about
Yeah,
Well, technically they're just friends.
true. However, very true. They are just friends, but to the point
But they was
where
a little too close friends.
that was a little too close to the point to where brother Clifford T.I. Tip Harris swings on an undefeated world boxing champion
You're just a
over
little
his
too
wife,
close.
bro. Like that's not no y'all just friends. That's some I done seen some
Yeah.
nudes and I done seen
Right.
some text messages
Yeah.
between
Personal.
y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the fact that he attempted to swing on a man that has never lost a fight. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yeah. So 21 Savage though, you did
I had-
mention 21.
I did, but I kind of wanted to finish up one thing with
Okay,
the Gucci
go
because I
ahead.
want to ask y'all one thing.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
bringing it back off from the Floyd and back to T.I. and kind of just bringing it home. T.I. only he made this national call for this boycott for Gucci to last for 3 months, right? So what happens? Like, do people start back wearing it? All right, cool, it's over with? Like,
Right.
did Gucci really learn their lesson? Or did Gucci wind up saying, hey, we can do whatever because guess what? You Negroes is going to come right back to us, bro.
I mean, there's a whole person whose name is Gucci, like who goes by Gucci.
Well, the thing is
like,
that's
where's Gucci?
Man.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Man.
What's your last name?
Gucci, man.
man.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't purchase Gucci. I don't have the funds for Gucci, so
I mean,
Honestly,
boycotting Gucci doesn't really do anything for me. I don't have deep pockets like that.
here's my thing. I really didn't care one way or the other. I have a couple of Gucci pieces. Definitely not bragging about any of that, but they are very nice pieces. So the part that a lot of people are juggling with, and they talked about this on the Breakfast Club, because Charlamagne was like, I ain't got no Gucci, but Angela Yee got Gucci, DJ Envy got Gucci. And they was like, what y'all gonna do? And Envy was like, how long is the boycott? 3 months. All right, cool. I'm gonna start back rocking it in 3 months. And it's like, Gucci pieces are very expensive. So
Yeah.
it's one of those things like, do you literally say, hey, like I spent X amount of money on this and just chalk that up to the racial game? Or do you say, all right, cool, I'm gonna see what they have to say and what they do to fix this, because then it might justify me wearing the jeans.
You know what?
Oh.
No. You know what I just thought about? So, you know, we have to really contemplate whether or not, like, we're going to continue to wear something, if we're going to continue to buy it.
Right. Because we definitely breathe
Where
life back
people
in
will take something out in their backyard and light it on fire and say, I will never, like,
because they
buy you again, or
Yeah.
purchase, no matter
And those
how
are,
much
like,
they pay for it.
remember what?
And
Remember,
Timothy-
But,
remember Nike?
no matter how much they pay for it,
Don't
they're
matter.
still lighting it on fire.
And you gotta think, jerseys ain't really cheap. Sneakers depends on what it is, but like folks is lighting Jordans and like high end Nikes on fire,
Ain't
bro.
nobody like
Like,
Jordans at home.
clear our lighter counter.
Ain't nobody like Jordans up.
That's what you think.
Show me a video of somebody.
That's
like
what you think, bro. Trust me, bro.
Look.
Trust me, bro. I saw a
seen them
video.
like them grass cut Nikes up.
But you know what? Though? Them Air Monarch Nikes are the highest selling Nike of all time. Here's the thing: when you destroy a product from a brand, are you really hurting a brand? Because guess what? They already got your dollar.
Right.
So you're not really hurting it. Now, this is gonna sound very Project Baby of me, what I'm about to say. Do y'all remember a couple years ago in Green Hills Mall when Nordstrom's got hit up for all of those like Gucci bags, Chanel bags, and Prada and Celine, all that? And they like rolled by there, like a bunch of folks hopped out the minivan and like grabbed everything and took off and like, hey, look, my thing is, I mean, I don't know. So like the trap side of me is like, I can just steal it all. Like that's the hood side. Like just steal it all. Now, granted, it's probably insured.
Okay, Josh.
It's probably insured. I may have been around Josh for once. Too much. We miss you, brother Black. But at the same token, though, like I don't know what the real answer is because we've already breathed life back into a brand that was dead.
Yeah.
Like think about it, Gucci just got hot again within the last 5 years. Prior to, people was not rocking Gucci. Like we stopped rocking it after the Gator boots, bro. Like seriously, like back in the early 2000s, people stopped rocking it.
Yeah.
People definitely stopped rocking Gucci, and now
What you have to say?
Huh?
What was your comment?
Oh, I just feel
Because
like
Pat can go on for
I
days,
can't.
so we gotta cut
get
him
a
off.
mic.
Cut me
No,
off.
honestly, I feel like it depends on the individual
Okay.
and how much they're willing to take a stand.
So is
Yeah.
Floyd and Kodak Black, are they justified in their
Again, it
stances?
depends on because Gucci can't succeed without people.
True.
So if we continue to support them as the black people trying to, dress how we dress and all, so it depends on how much you want to prove this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And how
think,
true it is to you, I feel like.
and I totally agree. I think the thing with Floyd is like Floyd is so rich and so wealthy, all he has is money.
Yeah.
Right, that's true.
And at that point, like Floyd doesn't have like any like serious like or at least he doesn't display very many intellectual traits and characteristics.
Mm-hmm.
But he has such a large, gargantuan amount of money that none of us in this room, more than likely combined, will ever see. So he's not like compared. He's not really hurting based off of this. I mean, this man walking around with like a $2 million watch on his wrist.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he really doesn't care. But
Hey, that's Gucci.
that's Gucci.
This is true.
21.
But still support Gucci Mane though. Let's make sure that we gotta make sure
Just call him
Gucci.
man.
Nah. WAP, bro. It's WAP, bro.
WAP?
Yeah,
WAP.
Goo-wop, bro.
Goo-wop.
Stop
Goo
it.
wop, bro.
Take the Gucci out.
You grew up off of Gucci Mane, bro. Yeah, that's what you grew up to. Yeah. Vet passed by, everybody looking, 6 stones in the house, and then all right, bro, I'm back.
Speaking
21.
of rappers, 21 Savage.
I went back to my
Detained
childhood.
by ICE, y'all. Detained by ICE.
During Super Bowl weekend.
That's crazy.
That's wild. Well, first of all, I didn't even know he
have-
was here on a visa. I thought like
I
he
have
was legit
so
because
many
he's been
questions.
here since he was what, like 7, since he was younger.
Yeah,
His visa is 12
his
years
visa
expired.
is 12
Yeah.
years expired.
Wow.
He's 26 now, I think, or 25. So,
Yeah.
he's a preteen. Huh.
But I think they said what happened was, from what I was reading, they were saying that he had went back to Europe and for like a year, and then he came back. And I think that's where things kind of got a little fuzzy, a little messed up. But that's just from what I was reading. I don't know. I didn't know that man was illegal.
I don't know Sir 21 of the Savage of Buckingham. I don't know him, bro. I don't know him, bro. I know Red Rum 21, bro. 21. So, here, bro, first off, my thing is how can we get this man? There are several questions I have, right? So the thing with 21 is how many times has he been locked up since then? Like 2?
A lot.
Allegedly 2, 3.
Yeah.
First off, this man was able to enroll in school.
Oh, you got that?
A lot? Okay, a lot.
I was playing it too. I said, oh.
Okay, a lot. Through the alley-oop, a lot. Okay. Like, how many times you got locked up? A lot, bro. Like, my thing is like, so you were here, let's say 12, 13. That's how old he was when it expired, right? So he was about 12 or 13. So at that age, you're like middle school, getting ready to go to high school, right?
Mm-hmm.
He said it in several songs that he played football. So obviously he didn't drop out in 7th, 8th grade. Okay, my thing is, so he was able to enroll in somebody's high school in Atlanta. And like,
Yeah.
yeah, you know black folks do not pronounce every letter. The reason
It
that
is. Like, I'm tired. I'm over it. Like, talk about something
I
real.
like J. Cole though.
well, this may be the reason that they might
Hey,
keep rapping about the subject matter that you played out. Cause telling the truth obviously get you locked up now. Because that's literally what happened. And when
But a
when
lot
it
of people
started,
incriminate themselves like that.
well, the thing is, did he really incriminate himself by speaking on social injustice? And the thing
Oh
is,
no, I'm not
think-
talking about social injustice.
the thing with 21 was he started doing it on like national platforms to where our lighter pigmented counterparts started paying attention. So he's going on Jimmy Kimmel and he's going on all of these nationally televised
Oh, really?
shows.
I didn't know he was out there like that.
20.
Cause wasn't he the one that was dating Amber Rose?
Yeah, so
And she
he
got him to start drinking water and like eating healthy and taking vitamins.
bruh is semi woke now. So the thing is,
Strong semi.
very strong semi. And after this, he real woke. I kind of feel like he's gonna be like the Meek Mill for immigration, kind of like how Meek Mill is kind of like spearheading the whole what do you call it?
Prison reform?
Yeah, the whole prison reform.
Him and Jay-Z.
Yeah.
I was gonna
Speaking
say Jay-Z.
Speaking of Jay-Z,
Yeah.
just a little side note, we need to make sure we take care of Jay-Z like forever. Because I didn't know this, but a lot of rappers came out.
Even helping out.
A lot of rappers came out.
Lil
When were the
Wayne.
Grammys? Yeah, when were the
Sunday.
Grammys? Sunday. So a lot of rappers have come out and have stated that Jay-Z has kind of been the person to put them in better positions. Not necessarily like by just putting them on this, that, and third, but we all know what all troubles Lil Wayne has been going through with Birdman Sandusky, trying to get his bread, and with getting his bread and of course releasing the album. But guess what though? Hey, first quarter, guess what's due? Them taxes.
Yeah.
And Wayne came out and was like, yo, like Jay-Z don't want me to tell y'all this, bro, but that man paid my taxes for me a couple times because I couldn't afford it. What Meek say? Meek said the same thing. He was like, yo, like y'all think I got out because I could afford the legal teams that was put together to get me out the can? He said, nah, Hov did that. And then 21, apparently Jay-Z is the person who financially hired that team to expedite and get that team together.
Because he was being held without bond.
Yeah, like, and y'all know, like, them deportation and immigration cases and trials, man, they definitely put that type of stuff at the end of the line. Like, total
I like
back.
how they all led with Jay-Z don't want me to tell y'all this. Like,
true.
'cause he don't care for the credit, but it's more real.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's genuine. It's,
yeah.
you know, I think that Jay has probably evolved the most as far as like rappers of our generation that we've seen. Like, we grew up listening to Jay. So, you know, Jay was the one I'm going to have on like 50 million gold chains like what everybody's wearing now. He was doing that 25 years ago and whatnot. And now the way that he's kind of like evolved to where he most of the time is the richest man in the room and they got on a single piece of jewelry. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, I'm good. I done did that. I done that. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to do that. So we definitely need to make sure that we keep guys like Jay-Z.
I think also too, he probably don't want like people taking advantage or like reaching out and saying like, oh, well, you helped such and such.
Hey, listen, if somebody tries to take advantage,
or you help, you know, such as, I mean, I know Jay is not, you know, gonna play into that, but stuff like that happens.
It does,
and it can create something that's really not what it really is. So that's probably why he told him, you know, like, keep this under wraps. Like, I'm doing this for you, you know, to help you out, but you know, let's keep this here because everybody don't need to know what you do.
Everything,
as far as folks taking advantage of Jay, man, as long as Solange is head of the defense and security team, bro, like he ain't got nothing to worry about, bro. Like,
oh, speaking of Solange, this is such a random thought that I just had in my head. She will be performing at Bonnaroo this year, along with Cardi B and several other people. So if you haven't
Childish
been to
Gambino on that?
I think so. He's been there before. I saw him at Bonnaroo a few years ago.
Bonnaroo second place where?
In Manchester.
Oh, that is a
which
bag,
is about from here. It's probably like about an hour.
It's about an hour and a half.
Hour and a half.
It's about an hour and a half. It's about 100 miles, 100 or so.
But I've been to Bonnaroo a few times.
Nice?
Yes, I didn't do the camping.
Time out. I have personal questions to ask now. Like, do they really like be passing like stuff?
No.
Out like that, bro? Because, like, man, I be in there super deep.
So, Bonnaroo, I mean, stuff happens like that, but, like, nobody is just about to, like, walk up to you and be like, hey, bro, like, here, like.
Because I ain't gonna lie, that's what I got in my mind.
No,
they gonna be like,
Bonnaroo, it's a lot of people out there.
Take one and pass it down.
Nah, people typically stay to themselves. They mind their own business. A lot of them, you know, have friends and things like that. But it's a lot going on out there. There's several concert stages. So there's several concerts going on at once. They have a cinema area. They have a comedy area. They have a ton of food.
How many,
that caters to every diet. Like,
and then like a couple 100,000 people that like just go and like chill on their farmland like every year, bro. Can you imagine the bag that they getting?
Like it's really fun. Like I've always had a great time. Like every time I've been, I went to see. Like I've seen Solange there. Ice Cube was there one year. I saw him. Kanye, I didn't really like his performance that much. Janelle Monáe, because he kind of started like rambling and talking, and it just, I was like, I'm here to hear the music, but that's okay. Who else I see? Lauryn Hill, when she first made her very first comeback, she did her concert at Bonnaroo.
Was she on time?
She was not on time, but she wasn't that late either.
Okay.
But it was
Was she pat late?
She was Pat late.
Hey, she's way worse than me though, bro. She's way
But Bonnaroo,
worse
she
than
was
me.
Pat late. She wasn't like.
Man, wait a minute.
Next
She's
day
way
late.
worse than me though, bro.
She don't even show up.
She's way worse than me, bro. Hey, cause she definitely did. Did she even pull up at her Nashville concert a couple weeks ago?
She didn't pull up.
You see what I'm saying?
She didn't pull up.
And
from
folks
Nashville.
was already sitting down or trying to find their seats, bro.
Yeah, I think, but she pulled up to the like I think the concert she had like the next day or like a couple of days later. Like she pulled up to that one, but Nashville, nah. She was like, sorry, sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, bro. No,
This should be like a pending transaction when you buy one.
It is.
it gotta be, bro. Like,
Yes.
'cause
We gonna hold
this until we know she's there and has like cut the mic on and
Yeah.
says, "Is this thing on?"
Right.
Like other than
like me and song before they go through.
yeah, bro. Like cause I need to make sure that she's not gonna try to run out on the nigga either, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Can't put it past
I don't know, but check out Bonnaroo if you want to.
Are tickets on sale now?
Yes, tickets are on sale now. It's in June.
What's
so
the price on those
you
tickets?
gotta Google it because I don't know.
I ain't gonna lie. Some friends asked me.
Go to Bonnaroo.com. That's what the internet is for. It will let you know everything that you need to know about
$1,500,
Bonnaroo.
bro.
So, but we're gonna take a short break and we will be back.
Yeah.
Sure.
So we're back, from our break. Who knew? So we have a guest joining us today. We have Shannon Sanders.
Hey.
Welcome.
How you doing, brother?
Good, brother.
Good.
Good
So
to
we
be
were
here. Good to
just
be here.
kind of chatting about Bonnaroo and the different music festivals and things like that, and just kind of getting your insight and input. So we can go ahead and continue that conversation. So go ahead, Pat.
So I don't know if everybody's aware by now. The music festival that Ja Rule was a part of,
Oh,
the
the
Fire
fi-
Festival.
the Fire.
I don't know that one.
Oh,
Tell me about the Fire
Netflix
Festival.
and Hulu. Watch the documentary.
All right, so, but really quickly though, all right, so Ja Rule was brought in, I guess with another group of investors,
Okay.
to do a music festival.
Okay.
But it was a destination music
Okay.
festival.
Okay.
So what
Yeah,
island
this was
was
like
it?
an exclusive,
Yeah.
like I think it was in the Bahamas.
Like a tropical.
Like,
okay,
oh,
okay.
this is like the top notch,
yeah,
like
yeah.
This was-
paradise.
This
like,
was Coachella
luxury.
rolling loud
I
to
got you.
like
you know,
luxury.
different level. And
People
so,
spending they last to go
Wow.
to this.
yeah. Now
This is Ja Rule?
this
Ja
is Ja
Rule.
Rule. So you thinking like I'm thinking, yeah, if he headlining, I don't know, that's kind of sketchy. But people were buying into
All right.
it.
Yeah, but they were
You know,
throwing out different names, saying like we're gonna have this person, so people's getting hyped, like
Okay.
oh, like this about
Okay.
to be legit,
Mhm.
right?
And so what ultimately wound up happening was the guy who the mastermind behind it all. Either it was incredible stupidity, or either it was incredible genius, and it may be a little bit of both.
Okay.
But basically, what wound up happening, and you definitely will probably want to watch the documentary, but it wound up being like a big scam.
Oh,
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
The festival never really happened.
Happened.
wow. So you had people traveling.
People showed
You
up.
got people on
You got people flying, you got people on boats, people on buses trying to get here. And if I'm not mistaken, it included like your own, you had like your own like I wouldn't necessarily say tent, but
Yeah, like
they
it
had
was like
different
a luxury,
lodging
like
options.
lodging, like
You could stay. They had a couple beach
Yeah,
houses that were allegedly a part
it
of
was
it if you
supposed to be
paid
there.
for it.
People showed up and it was like mattresses and tents, and they had
And a tropical storm came
a tropical
through.
storm came through,
and, like,
blew
wiped everything away.
They had like sandwiches, like the people was posting pictures of like plates of like bread
Like ham
and
and cheese sandwiches with tomato on the side and like styrofoam plates. Like people got there and was like,
it
bro,
was
we
bad.
did not pay this much money to
was
get a ham, cheese, and
bad.
tomato sandwich, bro.
So
And
where is it now? So I mean, is it a lawsuit in
it's in
motion?
I
Like,
think
he's
the
in
creative.
prison,
He's
right?
in prison
He's in
now.
prison now.
Right
About
now.
that? Wow.
No, well, not Ja Rule.
No, not Ja Rule.
Ja Rule
is
didn't know
organized.
anything about it.
He was the face.
Okay,
He,
okay.
he was the headline. He was the face
Wow.
of it.
Ja
It would have been
Rule
sketchy
didn't
to
know
me.
anything about it in quotations.
But
Wow.
the mastermind behind it all, he's doing what? I think they sentenced him to like 6 or 7
he doing
years
some
hard.
time.
And he got some fraud time.
That's big boy
Yeah.
fraud.
Yeah, and he got to
Wow.
do 85 of that because that's Fed time.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I mean, you got to think, and the thing is, like, man, he oversold tickets because it was on a small island. They didn't have enough room.
So they hired people, well, and some of these people, they didn't even pay them real good or anything hardly, but they hired people from the islands to come and help build like these stages and things like that.
Yeah.
And they was fed up because they weren't getting paid. So they, you know, kind of went in on the people. But you got to watch the documentary.
Man,
The one on
check it out.
Hulu, I
Really
believe,
good.
has the they actually got a chance to talk to the guy. But the one on Netflix, they didn't. So they're two different perspectives in a sense.
Wow, I have to watch the one on Hulu.
I gotta check it.
Yeah, it's
You gotta check it out.
it's
Fire Festival.
FYRE.
Alright.
Fire Festival. Now my thing is spinning back around full circle to your point of like people like Justin Timberlake and other people whose pockets are financially like super long.
Yeah.
I would say somebody else needs to pick that up and run with it, because I think that if it is run by the proper management company, then it really could be something special and it really could work, because man, you got literally thousands of people who gave up their last for it. But I don't know, it was just, you know, just random conversation.
It's a dope concept though.
I think it is too.
Yeah, it's a definitely dope concept.
I think it
So
is
let's talk
too.
about you, Mr. Sanders.
What you want to know?
Welcome.
Right.
So you're what, 2-3-time Grammy Award winner?
Two Grammys.
2 Grammys.
I know we're not supposed to clap, but
Woo!
soft clap.
So the first one was 2003, if I'm not mistaken, if I read that right, for India Irie.
Okay.
So take us back
Okay.
to that moment of first being nominated and then actually winning. Like,
So,
what does that
Well, let's
feel
go
like?
all the way back.
Okay.
Oh, let's go way back.
We want to go way back.
Way back to the humble beginning.
So I was actually part of Voyage to India 1. That was India's second record. Her first record was acoustic solo.
Yes.
And so
Okay.
on that record, I did video and brown skin. And so,
Okay.
so we were up for a bunch the first time. So if you remember, India was up for 7 Grammys the first time. She lost all 7. So it was unprecedented. It was crazy. As a matter of fact, it's crazy because for a whole year, you know, I toured with her the whole 9, but for a whole year she wore backward 7s on her shirt. She had all these shirts with a backward 7 on them. And so it hurt, you know what I mean? It really did. But I was really proud of her, you know, when it happened. She was really disappointed. But she came right back. She took the whole band to Jamaica. Right, because we've been getting it. Because now, let me tell you what happened. We actually performed that year too. We performed on the Grammys that year. So what was crazy is that she lost, but there were a lot of people that were, you know, felt like, you know, she should have won. But that's a whole nother conversation, because since I've become Nashville Grammy Chapter President, I'm now a national trustee and national membership co-chair. What made me want to be involved was losing, and so after all of that, I got involved and really got deep into the organization and understood what was going on. There were some inequities that we worked to create to rectify rather, and but that's a whole nother conversation. But took the whole band to Jamaica and just to celebrate. But there was this studio/resort that we went to. Dope. It wasn't like the Five Fest. I'm talking about, it was live, like everybody had their own bungalow. It was super live. So it was like the main house. You got your own bungalow, you do your thing. We had it for a week. So it's dope. You know, I'm the real studio rat. Rest of the band, you know, down at the beach most of the time. And so midday one day, and I'm in the studio. Beautiful room. I'm talking huge bay windows overlooking this water. You know, clear blue water, white sand, you know the view. This Fender Rhodes that's in mint condition, and it's in the window. Beautiful studio. And then in that moment, I'm thinking about, like, all this is happening, and I'm thinking about, you know, wow, like, just look at this. In the moment, I'm thinking that guy comes from the main house, fresh tuna sandwiches and fresh squeezed melon juice. And I'm like, man, you know what? It's the little things in life. I know we lost all those trophies, but you know what? This is what's important right here. Yeah. And so I just happened to be in the studio, and I was playing the chorus for a song called Little Things. Whoa. I just happened to be playing those chords when the thought of the little things in life being what's important. So I put that idea down. Yeah, that's it. I took it up to her. She was in the main house. I took it up to her. Anybody knows me knows I'm from South Nashville, and I love it. And so I took at the time, it was a CD, like, hey, you know, check this out, little vibe, little things. She's like, cool. She's like, you know, man, how dope is this spot? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, man, but you know, it ain't out south. And she like, man, hell out of here. You know, that's what I'm saying. But it's an inside joke. You know what I mean? So she knows, like, anywhere we go, I don't care where we go, be like, man, it ain't out south, man. So she's gonna be like, man. So that's why if you listen to Little Things, it's really an inside joke. The first line of Little Things is, been around the whole world, still ain't seen nothing like my neighborhood. That's what that's about. So I applaud her resilience, because at that point, we came back from that trip and we had a few records, and the label was like, shit, let's go. And so we came right back, and after losing 7, she came back around the next year and won 2. Of those, I won 1. And so it was like a 3-month turnaround for when that Grammy cutoff was. And that wasn't necessarily our motivation for doing it like that, but we had written a whole bunch of songs on the road, because we had toured with Sade, we were, you know, Lovers Rock tour. We were Sade's opening act, like the first real tour we did in the United States. With Sade, it was like 47 cities with Sade, so it was crazy.
I love that concert. I saw her concert.
Yeah.
I think John Legend opened it for her when she was here in Nashville.
Yeah, now that's the tour after Lovers Rock.
Oh,
so
God, that
before,
concert was amazing.
off the chain, yeah. And we toured with John too, yeah. So yeah, incredible. Like she's phenomenal, and so is John, and so that's what that was. So that's how we came away with that one. But I tell you, you know, it's funny because, you know, we were just in a hole. I'm talking about literally just grinding, trying to get that record out and meet the deadlines that we had established. And so we did it, but it was most definitely a grind. And so to win, you know, it's nothing like being there, you know, being on the 3rd row, and they say, and the winner is, man, it's no greater feeling.
Man.
Wow.
It's no greater.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had the veal on my mind the whole time, just
Yes.
like right now. I have the veal on my mind.
Yep. That's cool.
So how is the process of creation? Like, do you ever get into like writer's block, or what
Let me tell you
inspires
something
you
about
the
that.
most?
Here's what I tell folks about writer's block. I say if you got writer's block, it's because you're trying a lot. If you simply write your truth, if you simply tell your truth, then why
It's
you got a
genuine,
block?
yeah.
In fact, it's dark outside right now. That's a fact. Why you got to write that? How do you feel right now? When you have a day, you have a good day, you have a bad day. Simply write your truth. Why is there a block? You're attempting to talk about something that you either don't know about or something that is not authentic to you in that moment.
Wow, that mind blowing.
That is like
Makes sense though.
Okay, wisdom.
It makes sense though. It makes sense though.
Just speak your truth.
yeah.
Write your truth.
How did you get into music?
I tell folks I ain't getting music. Music got into me.
Music.
You know, it just always. But you know what? But you know what? It's like, you know, I really say and I really mean it. Yeah, I feel like music was my first language. Like, it's my comfort zone. You know, it's I'm gonna leave here tonight. I'm going to the studio. That's just what I do. That's just that's just my comfort zone. And so yeah, it just always was. Like, I just remember always being musically sensitive, musically attentive, and having some level of understanding. You know, my grandfather was a pastor, and I remember going to church young and being around just crazy musicians and singers and choirs and I remember one time I was probably 8, 9 years old. Maybe a little bit younger. I was a little younger now. I think about it, maybe 7. There's an old Keith Pringle song. If you confess the Lord, call him up. You know
Oh yeah, I know that one.
The energy in that record.
Yes.
I'm talking about the first time I heard that. Right. I'm talking about it was on the, like they were playing that. So my grandparents were playing it in the car, and I remember being in the back seat and just it getting to the end of that record and just busting out crying because I couldn't, like, it made so much sense to me and I wanted to participate so bad, you know. And then I remember going to church and feeling the same way and just be frustrated because I couldn't speak the language. I couldn't get it from here to here yet. And so by the time I started to develop those neurological pathways, that was my life at that point. It was just just trying to paint as vivid a picture as I could, or reflect as much as I could of what I was seeing onto tape, and to be able to come through your speakers and to make clear audio pictures.
Cool. How do you feel? How do you feel that the state and the city of Nashville is being represented in hip hop right now on the producer side, especially since this past weekend we had two other producers, Street Symphony and Take Heath.
Yeah, proud of them.
Get recognized. How do you feel as though we're going?
I think, man, I think it's amazing, and it's good to see. It's always been a bunch of time. I mean, we always know this, man. Like this ain't nothing new,
Right.
It's just now that there is as much access as there is, we can amplify our own voices. We can tell our own stories. Just like what we're here doing right now. We ain't gotta wait on a big network to come and amplify our stories. For our voices to be heard or to be broadcasted, we can do it ourselves. So that's what's dope. It's just dope that these guys have been able to make music and have it be amplified to the point where people outside of here recognize them. Where the talent and the greatness may not have been, I can't even say appreciated, because I think it is. I just think that, the country industry lives here, man, in such a strong way.
Man.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I tell folks, like, it's really a blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
Because, what it is that the city markets itself so tough as that, but really you can't be mad because of what country did. Think about it. It's the only genre, only major genre that has established itself exclusively in one city. Like hip hop, pop, rocks. No other city can claim that it hosts an entire genre of music exclusively the way the VO hosts country.
Very true.
Every writer, producer, label, publishing company, anybody on the staff, like everything about that industry, studios, it's all here. And so they've established a hell of a infrastructure here that honestly we've been able to take advantage of as creatives, but we've been the victim of in terms of media access, because the media machine that they created, though, to go along with that or amplify that is so strong and so intent on amplifying that country frequency. You can't be mad at that, but that's what's great about the moment. Is that we're able to amplify our own frequencies, and we don't necessarily have to be victims of that. We just simply have to, hook up some lights and some microphones and get down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And do it ourselves and get in touch with the folks that are interested in what it is that we have to say.
Very true.
So you are the creative director for the local national station 1021. Is that correct?
Program
Program director.
Yeah.
Okay. So I listen to 1021 because they play all the old school music, and that's me. That's my genre. That's my area.
Yeah.
Like I love it. And then I also noticed that you guys also play like local artists and things like that. So like, how did you get involved with that, and how was that station, like, how was it created? Because for a long time we only literally like had 2 stations.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It was an opportunity that fell in my lap that, I couldn't refuse. I was in a program called Leadership Music, if you've heard of that. It puts people in leadership. At the time, too, I was local Grammy chapter president. It puts people in leadership positions in the music business and ancillary positions. Maybe management. It may be people in business management, which would be the more financial part of it. Attorneys, whoever, producers, writers, creators. It puts everybody in this program, and you really study the game at a very high level for about 9 months. So, as part of Leadership Music, class of 17, one of my classmates was Bud Walters. Bud is an older white guy that has 20-something, 30-something stations around the country. And we just got super cool, and so he asked me one day, he's like, man, look, I got this gospel station here in town, man. It's not doing so hot. Take a listen to it, tell me what you think. I'm like, okay. Some class meets once a month, so I'm like, okay, I'll check it out. And so we get together next month. He's like, man, you check it out? I'm like, I checked it out. What you think? It sucks, man. You're right, it sucks. So he's like, well, what do you think? I was like, man, what would you do? I was like, man, I don't know. Like, I really don't know. Now, the thing about leadership is that you have program days once a month. So you might have a production program day. You might have record label program day. And so it's like our class, like Clive Davis came and spoke to us for a record label day. Like, it's that serious. You know what I mean? Like Garth Brooks and Trisha came together to speak to us for something else. Like, and all day, on those program days, it's like that. They put you on the bus and shuttle you across town, and there's some big shot in there, and they breaking you off like, you know, $1 million worth of game in there, you know, all day. And so we had media day, which was more, and there was a heavy focus on radio, and that's when I really got it. Like the first few hours, maybe the first 3-4 hours of that program day, we met actually at 92Q. We met at CUNY where 92Q lives, at the Cumulus building, and really got to do it. Like the staff was really cool, and they broke it down. They showed us, excuse me, what radio looks like on the backside, and I got it, you know. And he'd asked me that question about what to do with it maybe a month or two before. But I'm like, man, I don't know. I think about what to do with it, but I mean, you know, I'm gonna tell him, like, you know. I'm gonna tell him I make records, man. I'm gonna tell you about that station. You know what I mean? I understand it's a black frequency, but you know, but I got it. You know, once I got the business of radio that day, then I got it. So I slid him a note in class, and you know, he got the note, and he put in his pocket. That wasn't the kind of note you keep. You know, something you probably take. You know, as an idea, like, hey man, maybe this. Something you throw away. Put in his pocket, and I knew I hadn't seen the last of that note. He called me about a week later, said, hey man, come out here, you know, the station, I want to talk to you. Cool. I get out there, and he takes me to the conference room, and he's got the staff assembled. And he's like, tell them what you told me. And he wants them to hear from me, so he doesn't seem crazy. So I'm like, look, here's what I told Bud. I was like, look, we need a real R&B station in town. We need one that services classic, you know, and no disrespect to anybody else, but I felt like, you know, it was too much going on. You know what I mean? It's hard to be one thing. It was like, man, if we can handle classic, or if you can handle classic, and local, then, hey, I think that'll really help to balance out the spectrum.
Yeah.
And so he's like, what do you think, you know, you want to do it? And I was like, no. But at the same time, I saw it as an opportunity.
Yeah.
And I saw it, especially just based on our relationship at that point. You know, we built, you know, the foundation for our friendship. You know, there was a mutual respect, and so I understood, like, okay, he's asking me to do this. It's not like he's going out and, like, you know, posting an ad, you know, and so, you know, we kind of, you know, agreed to kind of become partners in it in a way. And so that's what it is. So, you know, we had several meetings and all kinds of stuff, you know, about everything about it, you know. And we went to a meeting one day about the name, and they, you know, folks throwing out stuff. They said something nasty. I'm like, no, something Nashville, no. Like, black people don't even call Nashville. I was like, we call it the Ville. I was like, matter of fact, there it is. That's how it went down. Yep. That's how it went down. Yep. And then so the whole the Ville, I got that from, if you remember, it was old school Saturday Night Live. The Bears. You remember that?
Oh, I ain't gonna lie.
Okay, yeah.
That's more your line. That's more your line. That's more your line.
That's what it was. So I was really just kind of tripping one time, and it just stuck. Yeah, it just stuck. So
no, I love the station.
Thank you.
Play it regularly.
Oh, it's definitely
the
first preset on my mama's and all of my mama cars.
I'm definitely a fan. So ain't nobody else listening to it. Know that I am.
Yeah,
right.
A lot of people are listening to it.
Like, you really be surprised.
I
Like,
agree.
yeah, and it's funny because, like, I'm hearing it more and more in businesses, and that's really what I'm trying to do. You know, it's really like, honestly, it's kind of like it's fast. It's fast like Spotify, Pandora, but on FM. You know what I mean? It's that kind of pace. You know, and that's really what, you know, started as one thing, but it's evolving into that, where it's just, man, we're just trying to get you in and out. I ain't trying to say no more than I have to, and that's it. You know? So yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna move on to my favorite segment.
The think tank.
This is our think tank.
Okay.
So in this ball, we kind of have very few questions in here, but that's okay.
Yeah.
These are random questions,
right.
Random comments, random thoughts. Just give us the first thing that comes to your mind.
Let's go.
With whatever you pull out.
Let's go. All right, we're gonna do it like this. We're gonna do it all right.
All right. What we
All
got?
right. If you could only take 3 things with you on the trip, what would those things be?
I feel like this is about to be an easy one for him. Mr. Grammy producer.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
3 things.
Uh-oh.
Well,
Now he
is
think
that
about
well?
stuff he got to leave
Okay,
out.
Yeah,
okay.
you got
Put it like
three.
Okay. It depends because if you see studio as one thing like I do,
See.
then the studio's coming. You know what I mean?
So do you have a mobile? You have a mobile studio?
Yeah. You
take
Just
studio
one that
with
you
you?
just.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I guess
Okay,
it's
so
what
studio,
we got.
in my mind, like studio is one thing. You know what I mean?
It's not a bunch of different
well, I mean,
components.
yeah, studio is like in a car is like an engine.
Yes.
It's made up of several pieces, but
Very
it's
true.
an engine. It's
Still
one engine. So
Gotcha.
studio,
Very true.
that's an engine. Okay, so
Point taken.
Take your studio,
so
right.
studio is one. She draws a toothbrush.
Draw the toothbrush.
Is that
Okay.
one? Or is that like
Hey,
Draws,
Toothbrush.
or is, like Dub said, is that the toiletry bag?
Yeah, no.
That's
Let's do
2
it.
and 3?
That's 2
Yeah,
and 3.
that's 2 and 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cause if I got one, I'm straight. I can make the rest of it happen, bro. I can make the rest of it happen as long as I got the first one.
That'll work.
I wonder,
That'll
I
work.
wonder what wacky question or comment I'm gonna get. I
I'm like, you got a hard one last
I always get some. I ain't gonna lie. I always get some good ones. What if Christopher Columbus never discovered America?
And
Discovered,
it
and it is in finger quotes. Well, text quotes, but these are finger quotes. Bro, y'all really gave me like the social studies question. Bro.
right? How do you
What if he never discovered? First of all, I think that I kind of feel like colored America has discounted this anyway, because we know you didn't do it, bro. Like every year on Columbus Day, what's the meme that goes up on social media? The only Christopher we acknowledge is Wallace. Like, so I kind of feel like, excuse me, I kind of feel like we have already,
We made an executive decision on that.
yeah, bro, we've traded you to the, bro, yeah, we did that.
Yeah.
Keep the form.
Right.
Young wit.
All right. What if Martin and Malcolm had an Instagram? That's so interesting.
That's a good one for Black History
I like
Month.
that.
Oh, and it is. We
That
celebrate
is a
Black
good
History
one.
every day, but this is the month
This
that we
is-
celebrate.
Right. This is for everybody else to know what's going
They
on.
probably would have shut Malcolm down.
Here's what they get recorded.
I feel like it would be a lot of memes for I Had a Dream for Martin.
Okay.
Like coming at him,
Okay.
making fun of him, or supporting, because
Yeah.
I can see
you
that.
go either way.
I can see both ways.
Society.
Yeah.
That's true.
Oh yeah,
my
him.
God.
Yeah, now him and
they both
45.
might
Him and 45 might be going back and forth. No, Malcolm and 45 will be going back and forth at it every
But
day.
you know what? I wonder if they do have Instagrams. Like, I wonder if somebody has done that,
It's creative and
and I
Instagram
wonder if
of it.
they
As-
should do.
As a
That's
kind of as like a memoir.
Live.
Like what is that
Instagram.
called when somebody who is deceased but is still like being celebrated as though they're still alive? What is that called? It's like a Latin term.
Like the Day of the Dead.
No, it's you with me though, Doug. And it's along the lines of the martyr, but it's something else though. It's a term. It's a specific term for like Tupac or like Biggie or
After. It's like post.
yeah. What is it called when somebody releases a project after
Mortem.
After
Postmortem.
Postmortem. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
postmortem.
They don't
But you know what? Like, I wonder if their states have created accounts. You know what I mean? Like,
That would be lit.
it'd be a trip to do it as them.
Nobody's done it
Yeah,
yet.
I would want to know,
Yeah.
like, I would want them
I got an
to do it.
idea.
Because I want to know, like, what
Yeah.
new quotes and what new philosophies and things like that.
You just
Like,
pull
they
a book.
That we come up with.
Their literature.
Yeah.
The ones
That's
I see.
true.
What do you see,
The
Zach?
ones I see got like 100 followers, and it's not like.
So
I mean, we can still
it's
do
not
that.
it's not real. It's not
So it's not
celebrated.
like-
It's not like a highly.
It's not what it needs to be.
But you know,
Catching on.
their families and their families' legal teams have probably shut that
Shut
down.
that down.
You know,
Yeah.
for the sake of keeping the legacies intact. And
Right.
things
Not a
like that.
bad idea
Yeah.
for the estates of, the families to do officially to do and to pop the quotes out with images and, for that to be the
It would
official.
be good to
And not from the foundation, but to really be from,
Yeah.
because this
From
is
the lineage.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
give them jewels
That's
to
a
them.
really good idea.
Give
Here
them
we
jewels
go.
to them.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Cool. That was a
You
good
had a
question.
good question.
That
King
was a
family,
good
hey,
question.
King family, Sebastian, hey, take that with you.
Yeah.
I'd follow.
You had a good question. What you got for us, Queen?
What if women decided to protest the pen and go on strike?
The pen.
What pen?
The pen.
What pen?
I don't know.
Decided to
Alex?
protest the pen.
Spell pen? How's it?
P-E-N.
P-E-N.
Was this one a viewer's question?
Read it one more
Gotta
time.
be.
What if women decided to protest the pen and go on strike? I'm trying to figure out what the pen is.
Protest the pen.
Somebody got hit with
Protest
the
the
eyebrow
pen.
Mm.
I don't know. That's a
I
tough
don't
one.
know.
Can we sit this one to the side?
Get another one.
Yeah.
Get
Yeah,
another one.
let's sit this one to the side.
That
Yeah.
over right there.
That was one of the replacements from when the think tank got stolen that first go
I
round.
don't know. What if T.I. never became an underground legend?
Bruh,
Well. Gosh.
we would not
I
know.
like
We
the
would,
underground T.I.
huh? You don't dope boys in the trap, nigga.
You know,
No, I do. I do.
Oh,
like,
I thought you said you go.
I'm like,
Oh,
I'm like, that's it right there. Like,
oh, boy, she almost took me up out of here, y'all. I thought she said she didn't. I was about to be like, listen.
yeah.
Respect.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
What if?
Can you
That question is resonating
I
here with
do.
me.
Okay.
Not often, but I
Okay,
do.
well.
Because, I'm not really into the rap game.
Okay.
That's all I
That
like.
urban legend.
Did you listen to Rubber Band Man?
Yeah.
Wild as
With
the Taliban, 9 in my right,
45
See?
in my
Yeah.
other
Oh,
hand.
see?
No, I listen to that's
See?
I listen to it. I just don't listen to it often.
What about money? We're going to call them pros and not the word that rhymes with it. Cars and clothes. That's how all
All
my...
my goods roll.
Right.
Yeah.
So you know what?
So T.I. Slick kind of like T.I. had a lot of influence,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah, he really did.
Underground
Legend,
T.I. had
yeah.
a lot of influence in our upbringings. Have you ever had the opportunity to work with T.I.? Anybody
No.
from the Grand Hustle camp?
Not really directly. I tell you what, India's last record was Conversation record.
Yes.
We did in Atlanta at Dallas Austin spot, Dark, which is Dallas Austin
Nice.
recording project. And T.I. actually worked there a lot. So he was there at least every few days. And he liked to work late. Sometimes he had a whole family with him. Like they go out and they come straight from the club, And 'cause I work late, And so, yeah, you see him come in. He was always cool. Like once he kind of saw we were there for a while, it was cool, for sure.
Speaking of work, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So, as one creative to another, I know it's a struggle or like a pull and tug as far as having a safe job and a job that you want to pursue. So, when in your career did you know, like music, this is about to provide for me? Like, when was that moment for you?
You know what?
That's the one right there.
That's a good question.
I like that one.
That's a real good question.
You know what? It really speaks to entrepreneurship. Really, as much as anything, it speaks to entrepreneurship. At what point do you let go of the thing to hold on exclusively or completely to the other thing? And I think I think that everybody fears the gap is what it is. It's just the fear of the gap. It's the fear of the lack. It's the fear, it's feeling it,
Yeah.
And I think that that's what keeps a lot of people from doing it. But I know for me, I'll tell you what I figured out was time. Once I figured out time and money were the same thing, then I had it. Because, you go to school to make your time more valuable. You go to work to exchange your time for somebody else's money. So the more valuable your time is, the more money they give you in exchange for your time.
That's so good.
So that being the case, it's like, okay, I need more of my time to do what it is I want to do, to be able to create what it is I want to create. And,
Right.
and at the same time, you can't be in denial about it too. Like you really have to know that whatever it is you're doing is competitive. Like you can want to be NASCAR, driver, but saying your car got it, like you really got to, if everybody on the track is doing 200 some miles an hour, you can't be out there in the car doing 200 some miles an hour.
Right.
Like you got to know that whatever it is you putting on the track, it's doing 200 miles, 200 some miles an hour. You got to compete. So at whatever point, it's like, okay, I'm at a point where I can be competitive for sure. Like there's no doubt about that. Okay, cool. Now, it's just setting yourself up to do that. It's just setting yourself up to be able to spend more time doing it. Now, here's the key. Here's what I figured out. What can I do for a couple days a week? What can I do to start weaning myself off? And that's what it was. It's not always a smooth transition. So one of the 100,000 jobs I had was cleaning carpet, and that wound up being a lick for me, because I mean I always had that kind of a real hustler mentality, to be honest with you. And so like I was going in, and once I saw what it was like, okay, I get it. I know enough people to be able to like really establish my clientele and do this on my own. So I'm gonna do this for a while, and I ain't gonna lie, I was hitting them too. Every day I go in there because they real talk, like they had the chemicals. I ain't proud of it, but it was what it was. The chemicals were expensive, but I was like, man, the jump off is gonna be expensive, so I gotta soften the blow. So every day you go in and you do your jobs, and you get set up, so you might have 5 jobs that day, and so you have to take the chemicals. It's like empty bottles or whatever, so you take the chemicals to do 5 jobs. Every day I'm coming in, I don't wash out a milk jug or something from the house, or empty water bottle or something. So I'm gonna hit them for a little shampoo. Next day I'm gonna hit them for a little bit of this or that. I'm gonna hit them for a little deodorizer the next day. So by the time I got ready to make a move, man, my whole garage was full of it. Like I had just random plastic jugs of it. I'm ready to rock. And so from then on, at that point, I would just go and lease a machine when I had jobs until I could buy it. And then that was it. Like I had like by the time I stopped, I got to the point where, because I was playing at church then, I was doing all kinds of stuff. I came up doing that too. And so, just having those kinds of relationships, I could clean the church and be done for the week, but it wasn't about being greedy. It wasn't about like trying to make a killing doing that. I just needed to get by. And that's the thing. If I truly wanted more time, then I had to not worry about trying to get as much money. Let me just do what I know I need to do to cover it, because I really need my time. That's really what's more important to me right now.
Right.
So because it was about being able to replace that income with that.
Right.
So if I could just do the same thing that I'm doing, cleaning the carpet with that, so at whatever point it was like even, then I could do it, and then that was it, and I'm full throttle. And at that point it's just, so much you tighten up the belt, so much you can let it out, and it's still that way, what I mean, and that never changes. But again, that's entrepreneurship, so the music business is no different, or anything in the creative arts, it's just business. There's the music, and then there's the music business,
Wow, big change.
Yeah, it's 2 different things.
Big
Right?
change.
Yes.
Did you grow in your gift, or did your gift make room for you?
Okay. Scripture?
Both, because I definitely, and I think that growing in the gift is what made room, because I'm big on that, definitely big on that being the case, man. I've been able to see crazy places in the world, man, because of the gift, whatever that is, man. And so, to be able to do that definitely makes you understand what it is that's got you there, and makes you want to go at it that much harder. It makes you really see it for what it is, because that's what you're there for. You're in the middle of nowhere. Man, you go to places and they don't speak English, but they know the words of these songs, bro. And you like, okay, got you, super powerful. Like, and then you really get what it is, man. Like then you come home super focused on like, okay, I know what I need to do. Next record, next run, next whatever. I know how hard I need to go. And you get out there on tours, and that's the thing. And I say for us in the Ville, especially, like, that was the thing that was amazing to me when I started to move around. When I started to come out of here, we started going on the road, started, to get out here. It was like, okay, we're good enough. We just haven't had access. See, Nashville is just now coming online as a media center. LA, New York, Atlanta, these places have been online as media centers. Nashville is just now coming online, where the way I see it is like because think about it, like you see a show like NCIS, right? Like CSI. Like they talk LA, like those shows are shot in LA. The backdrop, the story is LA. You know, that's what it is. So it's LA amplifying LA to the rest of us. You know, New York, they amplify New York to the rest of us. That's what we see.
Right.
You know, I think Nashville is online now where we amplify Nashville like that. Like we got that. The TV show did it. Titans have done it. Predators have done it. There have been things that have made major media come to the town, fall in love with the town. You know, and so that's been dope. So we're just now part of, you know, a mainstream media, you know, sort of flow, or, you know, having access to that where the country's paying attention to our conversations now. That being said, like, you know, before that was the case, you just sit here and think you weren't good enough. You know, I wound up staying. You take somebody like Gary Jenkins. Gary was, before me, Gary Jenkins was in Silk. He went to Atlanta and this thing popped off. Right. You know what I mean? It wouldn't have popped off in the video for dude like that. Not at the time.
Right.
I stayed. A lot of me staying was the fact that, I mean, I was 21, my oldest son came. So I'd already started the family so young, I was already here. So it just made sense, but at the same time, I kind of felt what was coming, and had been a part of different scenes, because I was just as much on the hip hop scene as I was on, you know, R&B scene and local gospel scene and this and that. So I mean, I was doing all of it. So it's like, man, I just see it, I feel it. Whatever it's gonna do, I'm just gonna do. Whatever the city does, I'm just gonna do. And it just worked out, you know. And but a lot of that, man, I was touring like India, you know. I mean, I've been with her since pretty much day one on the road. So I mean, a lot of that I was in and out, but you know, it's definitely been dope to see and watch the town turn. But you know, but yeah, you can do it out the Ville, man. And nobody tell you can't do it out the Ville, especially now. It's doable. It used to be kind of suspect depending on what you're trying to do. You know, you needed to go somewhere else to amplify your signal, but that's not the case no more. You can do it from the Ville, straight up.
I kind of feel like, I know we're about to wrap up, I guess, but I know like for a long time, as far as a media platform, I remember being a kid and like Young Buck was like the only thing like Nashville had for the longest. I remember, do y'all remember when we were like in middle school, it may have been y'all's freshman year in high school, when they shot the Young Buck video right here at the junkyard, right next door. 4 lanes right here. Bro, like that was like the biggest deal ever for us. Like I remember like we all like left school, all went over one person's house. Was like, yo, like we gotta watch the video, bro. They were like, oh, we live over there, bro. Like I just think it's like really crazy to see how we got excited about a rapper that we all probably have seen and like done ran into like his friends and family on a regular basis, rapping on top of a busted down car at a junkyard that we go past every day, to now, like you said, Nashville is becoming a major media hub, you know, country music of course. But like you said, our professional sports teams now making a lot of noise. Our food is now world renowned with Prince's hot chicken. You know what I'm saying? Like everything, the show Nashville, it's just crazy watching, seeing how the city has transformed within, I'm gonna say these 30 years, because I'm getting ready to be 30. But I just think that is like crazy seeing how fast the city.
I got one last question for you. Now, me originally, I'm from Miami, right?
Yeah.
And I know that Nashville is known as Music City. But since I've been here traveling back and forth for about 8 years, I've been here to stay for 2 years. Would you say that Nashville, the gift or the talents that's in this city, would you say that it's only about music, or do you see or feel that there's an uprising of different artists and different skills that's on the rise to use that platform to become something great?
It always has been. And that's the thing, is like, you know, all of those gifts support each other. You know, it's always been somewhere where creativity just happens at a high level. You know, because I mean, for all the records that get made here, the thing that makes Nashville super rich, honestly, is like songwriting. That's really the fabric of what that country thing is, man. If you really, you don't even have to, you know, a lot of black folks don't like country production. That's what it is. We don't like the twangy production thing, but honestly, the songs are dope. If you listen to a lot of the songs, off the chain. And so they really dig in on that. So it's always been a real content place. sidebar, a lot of people don't know this. What makes us Music City is happened by default a long time ago. So Prentice Alley downtown.
Yeah.
Right.
We've always been a major publishing hub. Is what it is. So like all the stuff was with Prentice Alley. It was really like a lot of stuff in this region was printed here. So Nashville was that city.
Okay.
Books, Sunday school books, Bibles, all of that. That's why you got, United Methodist Publishing and
Over in
all of
Metro
that.
Center, right?
All that.
Uh-huh.
So, by default, they also, with all of that printing, at the time, they printed all the sheet music here.
The records.
That
sheet music.
Even before
Gotcha.
records, before recorded
Gotcha.
music. That's why old folks had pianos in their houses, because somebody took piano lessons, and that's the thing. And so you read music, and that's what that was. That's how you entertain yourself. Before radio, even you played.
Right.
So that was the publishing industry, and so that's what made it be based here. So by default, all the sheet music was pressed here, because that was nothing. They printing books here, so to just print the 2 pages of it, out.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was nothing. So that's just by default. That's how we became Music City. That being said, it's always been here. That long ago. It's always been super creative, especially for black people. You had a very strong black intellectual community here too. TSU, Fisk. People don't know Fisk was really like the top tier spot for a long, long time in terms of like finishing schools. Like Fisk was like the Vandy of HBCUs. A lot of people still regard it that way. Like, it's always funny because Fisk is always in the top 10, top 15, even still.
Yeah.
Meharry. A lot of people don't know Meharry was born out of another school that was where Trevecca is now. So there were more black colleges. Where Trevecca is now was a black college. Tennessee Central was one of the names. It had another name, but it was owned by the Nazarene Church, just like Trevecca is, right? Trevecca Nazarene. It went defunct because it was a victim of TSU. When TSU came online, it was the state school. It was Tennessee A&I then.
Right. My grandfather went there.
A&I. So, but it was less strict than that Nazarene school. So kids were choosing to go to TSU. So it was a victim of TSU. It shut down, but it had a medical department, some other departments, but the medical department went independent and became Meharry.
Social studies class that they didn't teach in public school.
Hey, listen, while we're on the Ville, there's one more. Where Peabody College was a black college called Roger Williams. So Peabody was actually another college that was in another place. They were looking for a new campus. Roger Williams started having problems, bullets flying through windows and fires and, random stuff was going on the campus. So they sold, random, so they sold the property. And Peabody moved into where it is now. Vanderbilt family infused them with cash. We got Vandy now. But that spot was Roger Williams. And so they had a seminary. It was a seminary and a teaching school. So the seminary part of it moved to World Baptist Center and became American Baptist.
Right down the street.
Yep, right down the street. That's that became, and then the rest of it moved to Memphis and then, did a twist and a turn, got another school, became Lemoyne on.
I know several people that went to Lemoyne on.
That was born in the Ville.
Wow.
That's how you find out.
Okay, for the little known black history facts.
That's how you find out.
Yes. Awesome. Well, thank you
Hey, my
thank
pleasure,
you
my pleasure.
so
Thank you for having me.
much for dropping
been a
by
pleasure.
and giving us those little nuggets.
A lot of game dropped today.
Pat, before we close out, you got a gem. I know Shannon dropped some gems today, but do you have something for us?
Normally, it's pretty easy for me to come up with something, but I don't know. Let's see. Do we have anything right now, Zach?
About Fight On.
Fight On.
Yeah.
Okay. Fight On. Yeah, we just put out a new single called Fight On, featuring friends of mine. I call it Nashville Urban Choir, which is a revolving cast of the city's independent artists for the most part and talent pool. I get a lot of calls from producer friends of mine, usually on the country side of the ball or the rock side of the ball, when they need like large groups or they want that particular sound. That's part of my background. So I make records, of course, but that being part of my background, I put together groups for them over the years, and so I decided to name it and brand it, and so I call it Nashville Urban Choir. Urban meaning city. It's a lot to do in the music business right now about the word urban. You know, just because it's always used as the politically correct way to say black music, urban music. You know, and so we just want folks to just call it what it is. But all good. But I call it urban just because urban represents the city. You know, like when you think about the Ville, you know, you think it's country. And then there's urban, there's city.
Yeah.
Right.
So it just represents the city part of that. So that's what it is. And but so it's been fun. Fight On is that. It's just a song about perseverance. It's just an anthem of, you know, perseverance and keeping going, keeping on, and you know, fighting through it. You know, we all have our days, we all have our seasons. You know, fight on. You know, it just says when chips are down and not on you, fight on. Battles long, soldiers few, fight on. You know. That's what it's about, you know. So, yeah. So that's
Is it on
what
all
it is.
like platforms?
Yeah, all
right
platforms.
now?
Yeah, all
So
streaming
go
platforms.
Check that out.
Cool. Yeah,
Yeah, videos on
download
YouTube.
that. Cool.
Videos on YouTube, all that.
Awesome.
Yeah. So check us out.
Cool.
Hope you dig it.
Super dope.
Cool. Well,
Social media handles.
social media. Yes.
Yeah, so Shannon Sanders, everything. You find me. I'm a black dude. Most folks got my name as white girls.
Shannon Sanders on everything. You can find
Shannon Sanders,
them.
yeah.
And of course, you can find us
At Just Witty, JUSTWHITI.
Y'all know me, Schoolboy P, SKOOLBOYP, and Creative Socialite Group, spelled the same way it sounds. Queens.
Awesome. You can find me at Miss Shekinah, MSSHECHINAH. I am currently taking a hiatus from social media, but when I get back, I will update that because, like I told y'all, I'm tired of spelling my name for y'all. Y'all should know it by now. But that is our episode of 28th and Jefferson. We out.
Peace.
When the chips are down and they're not on you, whoa.